Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Today we are going to be buying a used car in Canada. I'm going to explain to you how to buy a used car in Canada, all the tips and tricks, my experience of buying one here, and everything you need to know to buy a decent used car. I'll tell you all the tricks of the trade on how to buy a good used car in Canada. It's unplugged. The microphone is upside down. What is going on? Buying from a dealership versus buying privately or buying at the auction house. Car lease versus car finance. And I'll also tell you my story, how I had to file a police report, a complaint, how I lost money on buying a used car here myself. And if you are new to this country, I'll also tell you where you can buy a car. Are you ready to get started? Let's begin. Alright friends, let's start with my story. I own 4 cars in Canada so far, and 3 out of them are used car. Only one new car that I had to purchase, and guess the model of it. I give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Yes, you guessed it, it's Honda Civic. That's the brand new car, and the fact is it never goes bad since 1970s. But in fact my car is 2015, never had an issue for 5 years. So you are searching for a car. You went to a Facebook marketplace, you started searching what they have there. You went to Kijiji Autos here in Canada, and that's where you find lots of stuff that you want to buy. There's also a more awesome website, which is an auto trader, and you can search for cars even there. And that's how you find all sorts of different cars. Cars from the dealerships, cars from the traders, cars from the auction houses, and private owners. What's the difference between those? What's the difference between dealership or a private owner? Well, the dealership is basically, you know, it's a business. They sell cars. They lowball people when they buy them, and they try to upsell to make that margin of profit. You know, lots of people prefer dealerships because they think that it's more secure. Sometimes they even provide a certificate saying that it was inspected by dealership, you know, a guarantee of quality or whatever it is. In reality, it's all BS. Just don't believe in it, because dealerships are guaranteeing their own car so you can buy it. They don't care about you. They really don't. And it's their mechanics, so they can write whatever they want to. And you know, really, you need to go to a third party mechanic if you really want to get something, you know, investigated. You know, I can investigate my own car, and they say it's perfect, you should buy. Here's a certificate for you. Put it on your wall if anything goes bad. There are also auction houses. Auction house is basically a place where people dump their cars. Dealerships dump their cars. It's, you know, there are lots of people who just trade in their cars. They just go to a dealership, they say, I want to trade it in. They get like this kind of money. The dealership puts it into an auction house, and they get it back when they give you a brand new Toyota or whatever it is you're buying. So those cars end up on an auction house. Also the cars that had been stolen, the cars that had been abandoned, the cars that had been ruined, fleet cars, destroyed cars, all sorts of cars where owners don't want to even spend time selling them, and they just put them on auction house. I heard stories of good cars being on the auction house, but in reality lots of them are not that good. But you can get a really good deal. I've seen people buying those kind of cars, and they've been driving them for years, and they've been saving tons of money from not buying a new car and getting one from the auction house. And I've even seen people making money on buying cars from auction houses and then selling them privately, so-called, like, you know, underground dealerships. My personal opinion, the best way to buy a car is a private sale. Instead of going through a dealership, yes, they provide finance. Right now there are so many institutions that can provide you with finance or a lease. Let me tell you what's the difference. Finance is basically you are buying a car. You take a loan from a bank, they give you with the interest, you pay it off, car is yours. Lease is like renting a car. You are signing up a lease agreement, and then you can buy it out. It's like renting a car. Sometimes not the best option to go for. Lots of people say it's just a rip-off, but it can be really cheap on your weekly or monthly or bi-weekly payments, and you might not even notice having a car, and you can just give the car back. And usually this kind of thing would like lease would work with the dealership, it wouldn't work with the private owner, because private owner that wants cash, who needs that lease stuff? Guys, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you smash that big fat thumbs up. Don't forget about it. I know these people keep on forgetting about. Make sure you smash it, guys, if you're going to find this video useful. Okay, let's do it. Now, what I want to tell you is my story. It's a little bit sad though. I lost money one time, real badly. It was a Hyundai Santa Fe, I believe it was 2004, and it was on Kijiji. It was good looking car for like 3,500. I was so excited. It was low mileage, had no issues. I didn't know that if something is too good to be true, don't buy it. Be careful. I looked at the car, the price is good, it's big, it's an SUV, everything inside works. And the only suspicion I had, it didn't have a number plate and the guy wouldn't let me test drive it properly. And I was stupid enough to drive it around the block and go ahead and buy it. You know, like they say, a proper family with kids who would lie in front of their kids. Both the husband and the wife lied to me. The odometer was rolled back. They lied about the mileage. They lied about being first owners of the cars. And that's where I actually screwed up. The car proof. I actually got it after buying the car. And now it's called Carfax. It's basically a summary. It's a document summary of the collisions, claims, and everything when the car just basically a summary of service and collisions and everything. And that's where I found out that Canadian police is really pretty useless in helping people out. Nobody really cares. When I went to a police station, people even said, you know, it's a buyer's lookout. It's not a crime to roll back on odometer. And I said, no, it is. Like, it really is. And they said, no, it's not. So I had to talk to a supervisor. And finally, a supervisor showed up and he said, yes, it's a crime. But knowing that, I couldn't even sell that car later on. Even for the same money that I got. I lost money on it because I couldn't lie to people about the odometer. You can say, Igor, you're dumb, you're naive. Like, why? What the hell? People cheated you, just cheat another person. Give that car to somebody else. Good story. I went and I purchased the car before that. I got myself a Toyota Echo. Toyota Echo 2003 was an amazing car, and it had low mileage. It was rebuilt. I didn't even know it was rebuilt, and I drove it for a few years. I got it for $3,000, drove it for 2 years, and sold it for $3,300. Should you buy a car from a dealership? Sometimes I would recommend buying from a dealership is if you are, you know, if it's a nice dealership, even though there are no such thing as nice dealerships. If you don't want to go through the headache of driving around the city, searching for the right car. Like, I didn't have a car when I first bought mine. I had to take public transit, and I just got fed up, and I went and I bought the car. I was just, I'm done. I'm done on buses. I'm done with the, you know, all the public transportations here in Canada. I'm fed up. I'm buying it. That's it. That's how I ended up buying a car. And a dealership, you can go, and if you don't have a car, and you can just, you know, look around. They have a bunch, and you can choose the one you like. So that's kind of an option, but it's better to have a friend or someone to take you around here in Canada and help you choose the right used car. Now, you also have to get a Carfax. Carfax, what does it cost you? Like $40. You know, it's cheap. It's just a summary of claims and collisions. That's how I figured out that my car had an odometer rolled back. How much money should you be expecting to spend for your used car in Canada? Well, as I told you, I bought a bunch of cars, so there's a couple of limits. If you want to buy a junky little car that might be reliable, might run, so I would always suggest to buy your first car under $5,000. And you know, it's cheap, it's nice. If you were like me, no money, not a high-paying job at the beginning of my being a new immigrant here, then I would just suggest a used car. First car is, if you want to get something that's drivable and might last a little bit, it's about under $5,000. If you want to get something more or less decently looking, has some, you know, more comfort and everything, then $5,000 to $10,000. And if you want to get a really nice, almost new car, you know, you go closer to $12,000. $13,000 $15,000. If you want to buy like a pre-owned SUV, it's closer to, on a decent shape, closer to $18,000. And if you want to buy some good SUV that's almost new, look closer to $25,000. If you buy an SUV for $5,000, chances are it's gonna blow up on you. Which brand of cars are good for Canada? Well, I will tell you that I'm a Japanese car freak. I love Japanese cars, and I always recommend you buying something Japanese. I say buy Toyota, Honda. I don't like Nissan that much, but like people are buying Mazdas, Nissan, because like I am not a big fan of American cars, and the fact is they break a lot, unless it's Ford F-150, which has a reputation, and it's really easy to cheap fix. Don't go for your first car such as Mercedes or BMW unless you're a rich person. I know a couple of BMW owners and they spend tons of money repairing those things, and they are not cheap to fix here. And here is the list of things you should ask when you're buying a car. And here's the list of things you should ask the owner when you're buying a car. First question is, how long have you owned it? The second would be, why are you selling it? Is everything working? Is there any problems with their car? Is there a service record that they can provide you and show it to you? What did you use this car for? How long have you owned it? How many miles have you put into it since you owned it? What car are you looking to get right now, and why? Why are you selling this car? And one more tip, guys, is, of course, take it out for a test drive. If you cannot test drive a car you're about to buy, then just walk away. Don't even waste your time. There are people who take off their number plate. They're saying, oh, it's not registered anymore. No, you can go for a test drive. Then they cannot sell it. Tell them to keep it on their backyard and shove it up their asses, and nobody's going to buy it. Don't buy a car that you cannot drive. When you sit inside the car, check if the horn is working, check if the heater is working, the furnace, check everything, every button if it's working. And also, lift the trunk, listen to the engine, check out for rust, check out all the fluids, check the oil, see if the level of fluids is good, check for rust, damages and everything, and look under the car to see if it's still fine, and listen to the engine if there is anything grinding, if it's too loud or making strange noises. Check for the smoke, if it's coming out properly, if it's not too much of smoke coming out when you start it, and see how it runs. Try to accelerate slowly and see how it shifts the gears, and accelerate harshly to see if it's going to work properly, and of course brake test. And if you are willing to put an extra $1, I would always recommend to take it to a local mechanic. For about $100, they can do an inspection for it, for you, for buying inspection, and it's gonna save you a lot of money. You're not going to be like me. I could have done like 10 car inspections when I lost the money on that one stupid purchase that I made here in Canada. I also wanted to let you know that I'm an Uber driver, and I know lots of people are asking me right now, I'm an Uber driver, I'm buying a car for Uber because I want to start driving for Uber here in Canada as a new immigrant or as a graduate student. It's an excellent option to get some extra income, and guess what? I'm still driving for Uber part-time, and I've been doing it full-time, and I've been an Uber driver for past 2 years, so I know what I'm talking about. It's a really good side hustle income, and it's a good reliable income that you can rely on. If you get fired anywhere or anything happens to your full-time job, you can always go back to Uber and drive while you're searching for something, because there is no set schedule. Just switch off the application on your phone and you are working, or you switch it off and you're not working. You can go for interviews, you can study, you can spend more time with your family. It's an excellent option. And I want to tell you guys, since I'm an Uber driver, I can invite you to drive for Uber, which means is that you're going to get a referral bonus. And I believe right now it's like $700 of total payout if you sign up with my referral code. And it's going to be in the link in the description of this video. So if you want to drive for Uber, you're welcome. And you're going to get that bonus of total payout, which you're not going to get if you don't follow this link. And if you're not going to sign up using my link and provide my information to Uber, because they would rather not pay it to you than they would pay it to you if you go through a driver like me, you're going to get it. Okay, guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope it is helpful. And feel free to ask me as many questions if you want in the comments down below. And we'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Bye for now.